And we are live. Hello, everyone. Ray Lee here, and I am with Damenicion Scott. And we are going to be watching the finale to House of the Dragon. Did you want to introduce your channel, Scott?
What's up, guys? Damenicion Scott here. If you guys don't know, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about physical media. I also have a Facebook and Instagram. You can also follow me there as Damenicion Scott as well.
Alrighty.
Basically, I talk about everything that's in my collection: video, Blu-rays, DVDs, and video games. And I also do shopping vlog videos. So if you're into all that type of stuff and you love physical media like me, my channel is the right place for you. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, if you love my channel and are a follower of me, you'll love Damenicion's channel. So yeah, go give him a subscribe and a follow. And to recap what happened in the last episode, the Greens took over after King Viserys' death, didn't tell Rhaenyra about it, and they crowned Aegon as king. And that's pretty much where we left off. Now, this episode is called The Black Queen, and this is going to be the Blacks come back to what the Greens did in the last episode. So, this should be good. All right, you ready to start it?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
There you are. The sea snake is going to die, isn't he? He can't be Lord of the Tides. Grandson was the greatest sailor who ever lived. I get green sick before the ship even leaves the harbour. I'll just ruin everything. I don't want Driftmark. It should have passed on to Sir Vaymond.
We don't choose our destiny, Luke. It chooses us.
Grandson, letting you choose whether you be his heir. You told us.
And Do you want to know the truth of it? I was frightened. I was 4 and 10, same as you are now. I wasn't ready to be Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, but it was my duty. And in time, I came to understand I had to earn my inheritance.
Not like you.
In what way, sweet boy?
Not so perfect.
I am anything but. My father looked after me and helped prepare me for my duties. Your mother did the same for you.
Good morrow, Princess.
Good morrow, Sir Laurent.
Princess Rhaenys has just arrived on Dragonback. She urgently requests an audience with you and Prince Daemon. The Princess Rhaenys Targaryen.
Thank you, Sir Laurent. Princess Rhaenys, might we hope for news of Lord Corlys's recovery?
Viserys is dead. I grieve this loss with you, Rhaenyra. My cousin, your father, possessed a kind heart. There is more. Aegon has been crowned as his successor. They crowned him.
How did Viserys die?
I could not say.
How long ago?
Day passed, perhaps two. I was made a prisoner in my quarters while the Queen made her preparations.
Viserys has been slain.
Alicent demanded you declare for Aegon.
She did. I refused her.
And yet you are alive.
The High Septon crowned Aegon in the Dragon Pit. I witnessed it myself just before I fled on Meleys.
They crowned him before the mass.
So that the masses would see him as their rightful king.
That war of a queen murdered my brother and stole his throne, and you can go for free.
A war is like to be fought over this treachery, to be sure. But that war is not mine to begin. I only rushed this warning to you out of loyalty to my husband and to my house. The Greens are coming for you, Rhaenyra. And for your children. I should leave Dragonstone at once. Baby's coming.
That child is far from complete.
Having a baby feeling, huh?
She's having a miscarriage. She's like a few months too early for this baby.
This should not be happening.
This is her daughter, Visenya.
I've done this 5 times before. Keep your spirit in the city.
I want patrols along the island's perimeter looking for any small ships that might set ashore. If the Greens attack now, it will be by stealth, not directly. We don't have enough men to surround the island, but we can make ourselves appear stronger than they are. Conscript the Dragon Keepers, they're capable fighters. Waste no time.
It will be done, my prince.
What was that? I'm sorry.
You might go easier on him, so he can learn what you're trying to teach.
Your lady mother needs to see you. Both of you.
Mother? Princess?
Your grandson, King Viserys, has passed.
Viserys?
The Greens have repudiated the succession and claimed Divine's throne. Aegon has been crowned king.
What is to be done about it?
Nothing yet.
Where is Damon?
I don't know. Gone to madness. Gone to plot his war.
Leave Damon with me.
Jace. Viserys! Whatever claim remains to me, you are now its heir. Naught is to be done but by my command.
Raven flew in this morning. The sea snake's fever is broken and he has left Eden form.
Where is he sailing?
That much is unclear, my prince.
Who sent ravens to our nearest allies? Lords Darkland, Massey, and Bar Emon.
Do you want to speak to the maester, my prince?
I'll fly to the Riverlands myself and affirm Lord Tully's support.
He will do no such thing. My mother has decreed no action be taken while she's in bed.
Good you're here, young prince. You're needed to patrol the skies on Virmax.
Did you hear what I said?
The ravens, Lord Potimus.
I shall see it done.
Summon to step. Our Kingsguard are needed on the Dragon Dome. Come with me. I'll show you the true meaning of loyalty.
You swore an oath as knights of the Kingsguard. I do all who wear the white cloak, my prince.
To whom?
I swore first to King Jehedis, my prince, and then to his grace, King Viserys, when he succeeded him.
Do you acknowledge the true line of succession?
Yes, yes, my prince.
Do you recall when King Viserys named as his heir before his death?
Princess Rhaenyra.
I'm grateful for your long service to the crown. So I'm presenting you with a choice. Swear anew your oath to Rhaenyra as your queen. Prince Viserys as the heir to the Iron Throne. Or, if you support the usurper, speak it now. Then you will have a clean and honourable death. But if you choose treachery, if you swear fealty now only to later turn your cloaks, know that you will die. Screaming.
Princess, let us help you.
Jesus.
It's Vizinia. That was rough.
That was. That was really rough, and there was a lot of pain.
Are they really gonna like show her? Oh. Yeah, she's extremely deformed. And extremely premature.
Wow, I've never seen nothing like that. This will be one of the most memorable scenes to me.
Yeah.
It will be called Rhaenyra's. What is that? It's slipping my mind.
About the baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had like a premature miscarriage.
Rhaenyra's miss.
Yeah.
I swear toward the Queen, and give my blood for hers with all my strength.
They showed a little bit of the baby, but not like a whole bunch for it to be like completely gross, like it was described in the book.
Take no wife, hold no lands.
That's her father's crown.
I shall guard her secrets, obey her commands, ride at her side and defend her name and honor.
Yeah. I wonder how he managed to get it. Because he had to like steal it and like sneak it out of King's Landing.
Looks good.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat. They didn't do that to the table in Game of Thrones.
Lady of the Seven Kingdoms, protector of the realm. Lady of the Seven Kingdoms, protector of the realm. Your Grace. Your Grace.
Why, my queen?
Why, my queen?
Thank you, Raina. Thank you, Raina.
I didn't know that they actually could do that with the table. Like put candles under the table and make the table light up like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is outstanding?
They never did that in Game of Thrones. Stannis used that table, and so did Dany, and none of them lit it.
Similar to my lower men in the city watch. You already have declarations from Celtigar and Staunton, Massey, Dartland, and Barrymore. Massey, Dartland, and Barrymore.
My lady mother was an Arryn. The Vale will not turn cape against their own king.
River Run was always a close friend to your father, Your Grace. River Run was always a close friend. Prince Dane's acquiescence. I have already sent ravens to Lord Grover. I have already sent ravens to Lord Grover.
Lord Grover is fickle and easily swayed. We need to be convinced of the strength of our position, and that we will support them should come to war.
I'm going to choose them myself.
The storms end in winter. There has never lived a star that has got open. There has never lived a star north that followed.
Lord Boros Baratheon will need to be reminded of his father's promises.
Boros Baratheon will need to be reminded of his father's promises.
What news from Driftmark?
What news from Driftmark?
Lord Corlys sails for Dragonstone.
To declare for his queen. To declare for his
The
queen.
Valyrian fleet is in my husband's yoke.
The Valyrian fleet is my husband's yoke.
We shall pray for both you and your husband's support.
We shall pray for both you
Just
and
as we prayed nightly for the Sea Snake's return to good health.
just as we prayed nightly for the Sea Snake's return to
There's
good
no port on the narrow sea would dare to make an enemy of the Valyrian fleet.
Damenicion would dare to make an enemy of the Valyrian fleet.
And our enemies.
We have no friends among the Lannisters.
And our enemies.
Thailand has served a hand too long to turn against him. Not all high town needs the Lannister fleet.
Without the Lannisters, we're not like to find any allies west of the Golden Tooth.
We're not like to find any allies west of the Golden Tooth.
The Riverlands are essential, Your Grace. The Riverlands are essential.
Pray for my goodness, Your Grace, but talk of men is moving. Your cause owns a power that has not been seen in this world since the days of old Valyria. Dragons.
Dragons.
The Greens have dragons.
They have 3 adults, by my count. We have Cyrax, Coraxes, and Melee. The Suns have Virmax, Arax, and Tyraxes. Zeta has Moondancer.
Yeah, but none of our dragons have been to war.
There are also unclaimed dragons. Seasma still resides on Driftmark. Vermithor and Silverwing dwell on Zaxmar. Still rivalous. Then there are the 3 wild dragons, all of whom nest here.
And who is to ride them?
Dragonstone has 13.
Who is to ride them? Dragonstone has 13.
I also have a score of eggs incubating in the dragon mound.
I also have a score of eggs incubating in the dragon.
We need a place to gather, a toehold, large enough to house a sizable host. Here, a house where we cut to the west, surround King's Landing with the dragons, and we could have every greenhead mounted on spikes with a fucking moon turn.
Every greenhead mounted on spikes with fucking moon turns.
I shipped it to sight offshore. A long galleon flying a banner of a 3-headed green dragon.
11 watchtowers inside the skies.
11 watchtowers inside the skies.
A green dragon. I thought Aemon's dragon was gold. Or Aegon. Sorry. I said Aemon's. I thought Aegon's banner was a gold dragon, not a green dragon.
And the Blu-ray edition for this season will feature one of the dragons and young Rhaenyra.
Oh, sweet.
For the Blu-ray edition and the 4K, you get that really nice yellow dragon with it.
Aegon II of his name, Lord and Protector of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, yeah.
I've been directed to deliver her message only to Princess Rhaenyra. Where is the princess?
And this is how the Blu-ray looks. The cover works.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like it What do you think that dragon is saying?
I don't know. She's just throwing a fit, roaring. She's a pretty dragon, though.
Yeah, and
Princess Rhaenyra.
And Queen
looks
Rhaenyra.
great.
And you all are traitors to the realm.
King Aegon Targaryen, second of his name, in his wisdom and desire for peace, is offering terms. Acknowledge Aegon as king and swear obeisance before the Iron Throne. In exchange, his grace will confirm your possession of Dragonstone and pass to your true-born son Viserys upon your death. Viserys will be confirmed as the legitimate heir to Driftmark and all the lands and holdings of House Velaryon. Your sons, like Prince Daemon, will also be given places of high honour at court. Aegon the Younger as the king's squire, Viserys as his cupbearer. Finally, the king in his good grace will pardon any knight or lord who conspired against his estate.
I would rather feed my sons to the dragons than have you carry shields and cups. You drunken usurper, cunt of a king.
Aegon Targaryen sits the Iron Throne. He wears the Conqueror's crown, wields the Conqueror's sword, has the Conqueror's name. He was anointed by a septon of the faith before the eyes of thousands. Every symbol of legitimacy belongs to him. And then there is Stark, Tully, Baratheon, houses that have also received and are at present considering generous terms from their
Stark, Tully, and Baratheon all swore to me. When King Viserys named me his heir.
They will always not put you on the Iron Throne. The succession changed the day your father died. I only regret that you and he were the last to see.
You are in more hands than Aegon is king. Fucking traitor.
Fucking traitor.
Grand Maester.
Grand Maester.
Fuck is this?
Fuck is this?
Queen Alicent has not forgotten the love you once had.
Queen Alicent has not forgotten the love you once had.
No blood will be spilled. The realm can carry on in peace.
The realm can carry on in peace.
Queen Alicent eagerly awaits your answer.
She can never answer now, stuck in her father's mouth along with his withered cock. Let's end his mama's farm.
Let's end his mama's farm.
Eric, bring me Lord Hightower, so I may take it for myself.
King's Landing will have my answer on the morrow.
King's Landing will have my answer on the morrow.
It's no easy thing for a man to be a dragon slayer.
It's no easy thing for a man to be a dragon
Kill
slayer.
dragons and have.
Dragons can kill dragons.
Simple truth is this: we have more dragons than
Simple
Egon.
truth is this,
Sarah
we have
spoke
more
of
dragons
the Valerian history as I know them
Sarah
well.
spoke of the Valerian history.
When dragons fought a war,
When dragons
everything burned.
everything burned.
I do not wish to rule over a kingdom of ash and bone.
I do not wish to rule
Are you
over a
considering
kingdom
the
of
Hightower's
ash and bone.
terms, Chris?
Are you considering the
As Queen,
Hightower's
it is
terms?
my true duty to the realm,
As Queen, what is my true duty to
ensuring peace and unity, or that I sit
ensuring
the
peace
Iron
and
Throne no matter
unity,
the
or
cost.
that I sit the Iron
My
Throne
father's
no matter
dead,
the cost.
What's your father talking?
My father's
and he
dead,
chose me as his successor
and he chose me as his successor.
to defend the realm, not cast it headlong into war. The enemy was
Defend
declared
the realm,
war.
not cast it headlong into war.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
Clear the room.
Clear the room.
Does the promise of war excite you?
Cannot bend the knees of the Hightower.
Excite
It's all your birthright.
And the knees of
If you
the
could take the Iron Throne without putting Otto Hightower's head on a spike, would you?
Are you not angry?
Well, I should declare war because I'm
Are you
angry.
not angry?
Because it's your duty as Queen to crush rebellion.
You know,
Because it's your duty as Queen to crush rebellion.
You know my oath reaches beyond our personal ambitions.
a song of ice and fire.
A song of ice and fire.
Coming war against the darkness in the north, the conqueror's dream.
Coming war against the darkness in
There's
his
no
north,
shadow of green coming to me.
the same shadow of meaning to me.
My brother was a slave to his own
Was a slave to his own.
anything to make his feckless reign appear death.
Anything to make his feckless reign appear death.
Kings didn't make us kings.
Kings didn't make us
Dragons did.
kings. Dragons did.
I never told you.
Never told you.
Viserys never told Daemon about the prophecy. She's actually surprised by that. Viserys should have told Daemon a long time ago. Because Daemon was Viserys' heir long before Rhaenyra was named. So Viserys never trusted Daemon with that information. Damon got jealous right there. He was mad.
One house needed you. Both our children are stolen from us. I needed you.
And you abandoned us for more adventure at sea.
And you abandoned us for more adventure at sea. This has always been your way.
I had no other place to turn. I had no other place to turn.
I lost everything. We lost Corliss.
I lost everything. We lost Corliss.
We.
I understand you have a new king.
Stranger cast a long shadow over this family.
Stranger cast a long shadow over this family.
Your brother is also dead.
Your brother is also dead.
In his haste to bury you and claim your seat,
In his haste to bury you
before the king and denounce they your sons as illegitimate.
and denounce they your sons as illegitimate.
Damon took his head for it.
Damon took his head for it.
Heedless ambition has always been a Valarian. Heedless ambition has always been a Valarian weakness. You are right, Venice. You are right, Venice. I reached too far. I reached too far. And for nothing. Our pursuit of the Iron Throne. Our pursuit of the Iron Throne is at an end. We shall declare for no one. We shall declare for no one. We retire to high tide, so we can retire to high tide with our grandchildren.
Jason and John are claimants to the throne.
Jason and John are claimants to the throne.
Those boys will not be safe so long as their God is king.
Those boys will not be safe so long as their God is king.
When their realms can be sick, and our sons can be sick, and our sons death. God destroys everything she touches.
That
God
girl
destroys everything she
is
touches.
holding the realm together at present.
Is holding the round
Every
together.
man standing around the painted table urges her to plunge the realm into the wall.
Painted table urges her to plunge the realm into a wall.
Rainier is the only one who's demonstrated restraint.
Rainier is the only one who's demonstrated restraint.
Easy words for a lord who commands from the safety of his castle.
The Lord of the Tide!
The Lord of the Tide! Lord Corliss
And his
Valarian!
wife, the Princess Rhaenys
And his
Targaryen.
wife, the Princess Rhaenys Targaryen.
My lord,
Lord Corliss,
my lord,
brings much relief to see you hale and healthy again.
Brings much relief to see you hale and healthy again.
I'm very sorry about your father, Princess.
I'm very sorry about your
He was a
father,
good man.
Princess. He was a good man.
Where is Damon?
There were other
Where's David?
concerns which demanded the prince's attention.
There were other concerns which demanded the prince's attention.
He was eager to see Damon.
Your declared allies.
Your declared allies.
Too few to win a war for the throne.
Yes.
Too few to win a war for the throne.
Well, we would also hope to have a
Well, we
support
would
of houses
also
Aaron, Baratheon, and Stark.
houses Aaron, Baratheon, and Stark.
Hope. It's the fools.
Both Aaron and Baratheon share blood with my house,
Aaron
but
and
all of them
Baratheon
swore
share
oaths
blood
to me.
As did House
All of them
Hightower,
swore oaths to
if I remember.
As did House
As did
Hightower,
you.
if I remember.
As did you. Of course.
No father's realm
Your
was one of
father's
justice
realm,
and honor.
one of justice.
Our houses are bound by common blood.
Our houses are bound by common blood and common cause.
This high tower treason cannot stand.
This high tower treason cannot stand.
You have the full support of our fleet and
Have the
house.
full support of our fleet and house. Your Grace.
You honour me, Lord Corvus.
You honour me.
Princess Rings.
Princess Regent.
But, as I said to my bannerman, I made a promise to my father to hold the realm strong and united. War's first stroke is to fall, it will not be by my hand.
Not need to act.
Taking caution does not mean standing fast. I wish to know who my allies are before I send them to war.
Consequence of my in the stepstones
demise in the
is that we now control. I took care to fully garrison the territory this time.
I took care to fully
blockade of the
garrison the
shipping
territory
lanes
this
will
time.
be in place in days, if not already.
Will be in place in
The
days. if
triarchy
not
has been routed.
The
The narrow
triarchy has been routed. Narrow sea.
If we further seal the gullet, we can cut off all seaborne travel and trade.
Cut off all seaborne travel and trade to
I should take
Kingsland.
me and patrol the gullet myself.
When we drain the narrow sea,
When we drain the narrow
around
sea,
King's Landing, lay siege
round
to Red
Kingsland,
Keep, and
lay
force
siege
Queen's
to the Red Keep, and
If we have enough swords to surround King's Landing, we
surround.
must first secure the support of Winterfell, the Ares.
I'll prepare the raven.
I'll prepare the raven. We should know those mysteries.
Dragons can fly faster than ravens.
Dragons can
And
fly
more
faster
convincing.
and then more convincing.
Send us.
Send us.
Princess right, your grace.
Princess right, your grace.
Very well. Prince Jacaerys will fly north. First to the Eyrie to see my mother's cousin, the Lady Jane Allen. Then to Winterfell. Treat with Lord Cragen Stark for the support of the north. Prince Jacaerys will fly south to Storm's End. Lord Boros Baratheon. We must remind these lords of the oaths. And the cost of breaking them. It's been said that as Targaryens we are closer to gods than to men. The Iron Throne puts us a touch closer, perhaps. But if we are to serve the Seven Kingdoms, we must answer to their gods. If you take this errand, you go as messengers. You must take no part in any fighting. Swear it to me now. Under the eyes of the Seven. I swear it.
I swear it.
Cragen Stark is inspiration to mine. I would hope that as men, you can find some common interest.
Yes, your grace.
Storm's End is a short flight from here. You have Baratheon blood from your grandmother. And Lord Boros is an Italian man. Will be honoured to host a prince of the realm.
King's Dragon.
I expect you will receive a very warm welcome.
I expect you will receive a very warm welcome.
Yes, Mother. To Chris.
Yes, Mum. To Chris.
Go to it then.
That's Vermithor. His name is Vermithor. He's the second biggest dragon. He's a wild dragon.
That's a cool reveal.
Yeah. He's trying to tame it. Vermithor would be a big help in the war, though. That's a beautiful shot.
It's gorgeous.
You just see Vagar. She was like freaking Godzilla, like just stretching her head like around the castle like that. She's so freaking big. Oh, Aemon.
Son of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Loboros. Loboros. My mother. I brought you a message from my mother.
Yet early this day I received an envoy from the king. This day I received an envoy from the king. King or queen? King. The House of the Dragon does not seem to know who rules it. The House of the Dragon does not seem to know who rules it. What's your mother's message? What's your mother's message? Where's the bloody maester? Where's the bloody maester?
Can he not read?
Let's get going through his mind.
Remind me of my father's oath. Me, my father. King Aegon of this came with an offer. My swords and banners for a marriage pact. My swords and banners for a marriage pact. Fighting with your mother, please. Fighting with your mother. Which one of my daughters will you wed? Which one of my daughters will you wed?
My lord, I'm not free to marry. I'm not free to marry. Betrothed. I'm already betrothed.
So you come with empty hands. So you come with empty hands. Go home, Papa. And tell your mother that the Lord of Storm's End is not some dog that she can whistle up to set against her foes. Whistle up at me to set against her foes.
I shall take your answer to the Queen. I shall take your answer to the Queen, my lord.
Wait.
Wait.
My Lord Strong.
My Lord Strong.
Did you really think that you could just fly about the realm? That you could just steal my brother's throne at no cost? Trying to steal my brother's throne at no cost?
I will not fight you. I will not fight you. I came as a messenger, not a warrior. I came as a messenger, not a warrior.
Fight a little challenge. No. I want you to cry.
Oh, his eye! His eye!
Yeah, look at
He
it.
put the sapphire in it.
One will serve.
It looks like a blue gem.
One will serve.
Yeah, he put a sapphire in his eye.
I will not blind you. I plan to make a gift of it to my mother.
No.
Yeah, that scar on his eye. It looks as badass as some
Raven as well as a traitor.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. All right, not in my hall.
Not have blood shed against my roof. Not have blood shed against my roof. Prince Michelle's back to his dragon. Now.
The girl's gone. Yeah. Oh, she's so big.
Oh, what the hell?
Look out! Did you hear that?
Somebody's like,
Yeah, that's Aemond. Aemond the Vagar.
I love this.
Honestly, he needs to land right there and not move.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, God.
Oops. Oh, he just realized he fucked up.
Wow. I really
Yeah.
I actually wanted to see more.
Yeah, me too. Seemed like a quick episode. Yeah, this episode was about an hour.
Yeah, you're right. So,
Well, yeah.
I feel like we haven't seen enough yet, but it did have some insane moments. I think if we saw at least a bit more of it, maybe I would have said this is the best number one episode. I do think it's one of the best episodes. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it about a 9 as well. This the show has definitely gotten stronger towards the end of this season because this is where the time jumps are stopping. We're not getting as many time jumps. It's more what's that word where it's like it's a consistent thing. It's not there's no time jumps. So yeah, I would have to say like the past 3 to 4 episodes are probably the best of the season, not including episode 1. But yeah, okay, so the biggest difference, the thing that stood out that's extremely different from the book is how Luke died. Because in the book, it was his death, more or less, was stated as a murder. Like, it was done on purpose. It was premeditated. However, the show shows that it was actually an accident. They both lost control over their dragons, and their dragons started fighting, and they couldn't make them stop.
And that's when it went out of control.
And Vhagar just happened to be bigger, older, more war experienced, and she snuck up on Arax and ate him and Luke. So, Aemond didn't purposefully murder Luke. It was an accident.
Yeah, you saw the expression look on his face.
Yeah, and when he realized what Vhagar did, he, like, you could tell that he had a bit, like, his eyes were glossing over, and he was just like, what just happened? Like, he's like, I just did that. Like, he's dead. Shit. I fucked up.
I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, I'm in big trouble. Like, that's the expression you make when you realize your mom is going to beat your ass.
And that expression look on Rhaenyra's face, she just realized Luke never came back.
Yeah, that's what Daemon was telling her, that Luke was brought down over the ocean. And you got to think, because see, there's a lot of theories that he might have survived that. And even the book kind of plays with that idea that he survived the fall. But from what we're seeing, he was flying so high that he was above the storm.
Sure.
So you got to think he's falling hundreds of miles down over open water. He's dead. Yeah. Because actually someone stated that they saw him bail. Like right as Vhagar bit down on the dragon, he jumped off. And I saw it kind of looks like a boy, like a human falling. I saw like a still frame of it. So, but even if he did jump off of Arax, he's hundreds of miles up above the ocean. He's dead. Hitting the ocean, you don't want to hit water from that high. It'll kill you. Yeah. So
he had to be. No way he could have survived that fall.
No.
From the rainy clouds up to the light sky, and then be eaten down by that dragon.
Yeah, and then you got to think he's flying above the storm. So not only is he falling from the height he was, he's going to be falling through the storm, which a great chance of getting hit by lightning and everything on your way down. Fall through a cloud that has lightning running through it, you're getting electrocuted. Hundreds of miles down, open water. Yeah, he's dead. There's no way he survived.
Yeah.
Realistically, nobody can survive that.
Yeah, right.
And poor RX got ripped to shreds. He's in pieces.
I know that was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Considering RX is a baby too. He's very young. Or he was very young. He's about how old Danny's dragons were when, you know.
So how old is that big dragon?
Vagar is over 182 years old.
Wow, can dragons really live that long?
They have a lifespan about 200 years.
Oh.
Yeah, the Black Dread lived a little over 200 before he died of old age. But we also got to see Vermithor, which is that big ass wild dragon that's living on a dragonstone. Daemon was trying to tame him. So they're gonna try to they will get him in the war. He's the second biggest dragon alive next to Vagar. Actually, a lot of people say that he's smaller than the Cannibal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's a dragon called Cannibal. And Cannibal's pretty damn big, too. And I was seeing size charts, and they were putting Vermithor as smaller than Cannibal. So, maybe he might be the third largest dragon.
And there's yet more build-up to come, right?
Yeah, because this was definitely the start. This was the start of the dance with the death of Luke, and then Daemon gets really pissed about this, and then that's when he starts the incident of blood and cheese, and then the war gets really big.
Blood and cheese, wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be in season 2. That's probably going to be near the start of season 2, Blood and Cheese. Then we'll find out if Rhaenyra was involved in that or not. I don't know. She seemed very pissed. She very well could have been. But we don't know for sure. But yeah, that's going to happen. And there's going to be a huge dragon war where the dragons tear each other up. That's going to be all in season 2.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, so they're going to have to try to find riders for all these dragons that don't have riders, because how many dragons did Daemon say they had? Rhaenyra had like 12, 13, 14 dragons at her disposal.
I'm anxious to see how Rhaenyra finds out about Luke and her reaction, how she snaps on people.
Yeah, well, she didn't react the way she did in the book, because that was Daemon telling her about Luke. That look she gave to the camera, that was her reaction to it. In the book, she collapsed upon hearing it. She collapsed upon hearing the news, and then she became mentally not there. She became like extremely depressed. She became like almost bedridden. She wouldn't leave her room and shit like that. She became a very absent leader. And she was so absent in her duties that like Rhaenys and Daemon took over her duties. She became extremely depressed after Luke died.
Wow.
However, I don't know if they're going to do that in this show, because that reaction where she turned around and then she stared down the camera with tears running down her face, she seems more like like very angry, like Mother Bear kind of, like she's not going to break down kind of thing. She's pissed and she's out for blood now.
Yeah, she's out for vengeance.
Yeah, which is very different than how she acted in the book. And I don't know, I kind of like this version. I like her actually like being active. Her becoming depressed and becoming absent would really hurt the character. I don't know. I think they should keep her active in everything that's happening instead of like what happened in the book.
Now, I'll be anxious to know that comparison way she reacts of in the show and in the books from your knowledge. I'd like to hear that from you.
Yeah, like I said, in the book she got very depressed and then she just kind of locked herself away for a while and didn't do anything. Rhaenys pretty much took over all of her duties along with Daemon. But yeah, in the show, she didn't break down, she didn't scream or anything like that. She just got really pissed. So, no, she had that look in her eye, like I'm gonna kill them all.
Yeah.
For this.
Something like Daenerys, what she did, right?
Yeah, a lot of people were comparing that scene to Daenerys' scene, but I'm like, okay, I get what, the comparison of like the way they look and everything like that, but it's not technically the same thing. Like, Rhaenyra is not going mad. She's just upset. Because in the books, Rhaenyra didn't become... Like, I mean, she killed a lot of people, had a lot of people killed, but it was in war. It wasn't like she went around and murdered a bunch of innocent people. Unless she was involved in Blood and Cheese.
So if she's involved in this Blood and Cheese, that's where she'll kill innocent people like Daenerys.
If she was involved in Blood and Cheese, then she is responsible for the death of one innocent. But as far as we know from the books, that was Daemon. That was not Rhaenyra. So, but we will find out in season 2 if Rhaenyra did know about it and was involved in it and did give the okay for it to happen. Or if Daemon just acted by himself. Because that was more of Daemon's thing. Because Daemon was like son for a son kind of thing. An eye for an eye, son for a son. Yeah, so. But I don't know. Them making Luke's death an accident in the show, I actually kind of like that. Instead of it just being Aemon being a straight up murderer and just killing Luke for no reason. So I actually do like how it shows that, they don't actually control the dragons.
So yeah, dragons they can think for themselves still, right?
Yeah. Like Dany said, a dragon is no slave. And also Viserys said, us controlling the dragons is just an illusion. We don't actually control them. And I think that was a good representation of, the dragons, like, RX stopped listening to Luke, Vhagar stopped listening to Aemond, and the dragons just went at it, and the kids were like, oh. And then Luke just ended up dying. And then Aemond was like,
Don't you think we're gonna see another dragon go out?
Oh yeah, we'll see a lot of dragon deaths because this war pretty much made the dragons extinct. And there's gonna be like, I'm hoping that we get like a good portion of the dance in season 2, where we actually watch the dragons fight each other, because we'll get like really good fights with Vagar, Caraxes, Damon's dragon. I heard Moondancer did quite a bit in the war too.
So the blood and cheese battle will be like the more Armageddon endgame fight, where everyone's doing nothing but fighting.
Well, Blood and Cheese was an assassin. It was Damon hired an assassin to go after Aemon's children. Or I keep saying Aemond, it's Aegon. Yeah, the king. Yeah, Damon hires an assassin to go after Aegon's children.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, a son for a son.
Yeah.
You killed my son, I'm gonna kill yours. That's the Blood and Cheese incident.
All right.
And then,
and since Rhaenyra had this miscarriage, how long would it be before she tries to have another child again?
She doesn't.
She doesn't?
No, Visenya was her last child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so her children would be Jace, which is the oldest. Luke was the one who just died. Then she had Joffrey, Aegon, and Viserys. And then she had Viserys. And then she had Visenya, but Visenya died in that miscarriage.
Wow.
Those were her only children.
I see that.
Yeah. Because after the death of Visenya is basically when Rhaenyra gets her armies together, and then she attacks King's Landing.
Yeah, I could probably see her enraged and going up there and wreck some havoc.
Oh, yeah. Rhaenyra kills quite a few people, to be honest.
Yeah. One of your people killed one of my sons.
Yeah. Especially when Luke died. Yeah, she was just out for blood after Luke.
Yeah, she wanted to find out who caused the death of her son. She is really angry and wants answers. No hesitation. She will go out of her way and find who did that.
Yeah. It shouldn't be too hard for her to find out that it was Aemond, though, because Aemond would have been the messenger for the Greens at the same location.
And don't you just like the effects on his eye?
Oh, yeah. His sapphire eye. Yeah. That was cool. I really like Aemond, actually. He's one of my favorites. But my favorite character from this season, after like this entire season wrapped up, it's a really hard tie between Daemon and Viserys.
And I was starting to remember that. Who's your favorite character now that we've seen this season?
Yeah. I really like Daemon and Viserys. They're probably my top two. Then it would probably be Rhaenyra, and then Aemond. But Aemond and Rhaenyra can probably also flip-flop. But yeah, Rhaenyra has been dethroned as being my favorite Targaryen in this show.
Rhaenyra, for the most part, is being exactly my most rememberable character. She is the only character that comes to mind because she is that related to Daenerys.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks well, I mean, she's like the great like grandmother of Dany.
Great.
Yeah. There's about like 28 generations between them.
Yeah, that's a lot. Man.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the only I feel like she's the only person that before Daenerys.
Yeah. Well, Dany in the book was said to have represented Rhaenyra in look. So when they described Dany in the books, she was described as looking much like Rhaenyra. She had Rhaenyra's resemblance.
Yeah.
And that scene with Daemon and Rhaenyra, where Daemon started choking the shit out of her.
Oh yeah. What'd you think of that?
I thought the scene worked. A lot of things that I've been hearing about that scene is that people said that scene ruined Daemon's character, and I don't think so. I think it's right up Daemon's alley, actually, to do something like that.
That was a really good talk between each other, and to me, it was like, damn, these two really are talking. These two are really talking to each other.
Yeah.
By holding her at the neck.
Yeah, and I really like how you saw the anger, the hatred, everything that Daemon had for Rhaenyra and Viserys just all came out in that one moment. It was like he was always treated like the black sheep, but yet he had so much love for his family, but his family never trusted him. His brother never trusted him. He was supposed to be the heir to the throne, and Viserys never told him the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't trust him with the information of the prophecy. Then when Viserys automatically took his throne away and gave it to Rhaenyra. And you could tell that really hurt Daemon, and Daemon had a lot of hatred for Rhaenyra because of that.
Wow, that's a lot of jealousy out of a human being.
Yeah, a lot of jealousy. And then when Rhaenyra goes, yo, what about the prophecy? And he's like, what prophecy? And then when she starts telling him the prophecy, he's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then she's like, Viserys didn't tell you about the prophecy? And then that just happens. And so, yeah, that was just a lot of anger and hatred coming out at the same time. To him be like, yeah. So I don't think it ruined him at all. I think that's exactly who Daemon is.
That's a really well acted scene.
Yeah. You got to give it to the cast. The casting in this show was really well done. The acting was phenomenal. And especially from Viserys. Patty killed Viserys. I honestly thought Viserys was one of the best acted characters in this show. He died a lot sooner than I thought he would, but yeah, I honestly, like, Viserys was great. This show made me love Viserys.
Yeah, I even heard a person say House of Dragon is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah. You know, this season was really good. I do have the gripe with the time jumps. There were so many time jumps. But it was overall a very good season. Excuse me. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched the first season of Game of Thrones. And I don't want to say that this was better than the first season of Game of Thrones. But it's up there. Like, I mean, it's overall a very good season.
Yeah. I'm really liking it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it already.
Yeah, it was a great season. It makes me want more. Like, I'm definitely excited for season 2.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Although season 2, we're not going to be getting it until 2024. they're going to start filming in March. So we're probably going to get it like early middle of 2024 is what they're expecting. So we're going to have to wait like a year, but I would rather them, make it right.
I know.
Take their time with it, So if I have to wait a year, I'll wait a year.
Yeah, but do you know how many years we had to wait for some seasons for Game of Thrones?
Yeah, they took like what 2.5 years for the last season, and it wasn't even worth it. I was just like, this took you 2 years? I was like, this is crap. But yeah, I'm hoping that they do. I mean, House of the Dragon does not have the same writers as Game of Thrones. It's a completely different
new team.
A completely different new team working on this show. And they honestly surprised me with season 1, so I'm hoping that, season 2 is done well. From what I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but from like what I heard, George R.R. Martin was the one who wrote the script for this series, and he might have already written the entire thing. So if they go off of George R.R. Martin's script and do what George R.R. Martin wanted this show to be, then I don't see anything going wrong. Unless they decide that they really want to vary from what George R.R. Martin had written for this. Which they should never do. I mean, if the creator of the show, the books, whoever comes out and says, here's the script, this is how it should be done, you should just do it the way that they say. But
let me see. You gotta check out a top 10 video on the Watch Mojo YouTube channel. Brutal moments from House of Dragons this season.
Yeah, I watched Jeremy Johns, and he had the spoiler where where the dragons started fighting and Luke accidentally got killed. And then Jeremy Johns was like, that's the face of somebody who's like, I'm in so much trouble when I get home.
Oh, wow. I got to take a look at that.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, what's this? There's openings at the wall? I'm on my way. Like, he should just, like, not go home. He should just fly straight to the wall and join the wall. He's a kin killer now. Although it wasn't his fault. They just
it
lost
wasn't my fault. The dragons went crazy. We couldn't control them.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Aemond was torturing Luke, trying to scare him, chasing him and shit, but I don't think Aemond really meant him any harm. It's just they lost control of the dragons. I don't know, that's giving Aemond the benefit of the doubt. And the way he reacted when it happens, because that look he had when he was watching, like, RX and Luke fall to the ocean, that wasn't the look of somebody who did it on purpose. He was very distraught at what happened. So, but you know what? That's the funny thing, though. This whole war started because of an accident. Because this is the event that sets off the war. This is when Rhaenyra's like, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to kill you all, kind of thing. And we all know that the Greens are just going to, because she's going to go at them. They're going to go right back, and it's a clash. And all because of an accident. Because 2 children couldn't control their dragons.
Right.
Because Aemond's only 16. And Luke was 14. I mean, they literally had 2 children on riding on creatures that like have the ability of an atomic bomb. It's like handing a kid a gun and then not expecting him to shoot his brother, basically. It was just a bad situation for everyone.
Kids can do a lot of things out of control.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that that's what caused everything to happen. But you know what? I really think that Rhaenyra was actually considering the Green's deal, though. Before that happens. Because that argument she got in with Daemon, where she was like, what's truly my duty? Is my duty actually sitting on the throne or protecting the throne like I was supposed to? If her job was to keep the realm united, she can still do that without being on the Iron Throne. So it did look like she was considering to take their deal. I mean, Daemon wasn't happy about it, but it did look like she was considering it until that incident happened with Luke. And then she's just like, nope, I don't care now.
I don't care.
I don't know. If I was Rhaenyra, I would have considered the deal, quite honestly.
I don't care. Some people are about to face some serious consequences in my wrath.
I mean, all she would have to do, like, she would just have to find somebody who she could trust, who has, like, high power, who has high influence over the crown, to pass the prophecy to. Like, she wouldn't have to exactly go and give it to Aegon, you know? She could still be the protector of the prophecy and pass it on to somebody who's trustworthy, who has a lot of power, who can influence the crown. You know?
Yeah.
Which is why it looked like she was about to consider the deal, because she's like, my job is this prophecy, to keep this prophecy going. And she was taking it very seriously until they killed Luke. And now it's personal.
I think it's just about as personal for everyone, huh? Don't you think?
Yeah, especially when Blood and Cheese happens, because then Aegon takes it personally. And you have two people that are extremely hurt, who are taking it personally, leading the charge of the war. So it gets bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2 is going to be crazy. For sure.
I hope it's really crazy.
But I mean, other than that, the Sea Snake's back, I guess. Yeah, he's back. He's still alive. And he gave Rhaenyra control over his fleet. And he's also cutting off the supply trade to King's Landing, because he has control over the ocean that runs through there, where they deliver trade good to King's Landing. So he's going to cut off trade route to King's Landing. So that was a big buffer for Rhaenyra. And they stated that Rhaenyra had about 14 dragons. A lot of them don't have riders, but they can find riders for them. So, yeah, she doesn't have the army, but she definitely has the navy and the dragon power.
Could there be a whole army of dragons in season 2?
Possibly. Yeah, because I think, I don't know the exact count, but Daemon said something like they have around 12 to 14 dragons on Dragonstone. And they have the only problem, though, is because of the 5 dragons that they do have riders. Well, now it would be... No, they had 7 riders. They had 7 dragons, but now they only have 6. That only 3 of them were adults, and none of them have been to war. So none of their dragons are actually, like, war trained. And I think that's why they wanted to get in some of those wild dragons, especially Vermithor, who's extremely old. He's one of the biggest dragons, and I believe he at one point did have a rider, and he was in war. Who did Vermithrax have a rider? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure he did. But if Vermithrax had or Vermithrax, if Vermithor had you know, if he had seen some war, then he would be a really good ally. Vermithor. Let's see. Yeah, Vermithor was a very old dragon. Okay, so Vermithor, yeah, he had one rider, and that was actually King Jaehaerys. So Vermithor was Viserys' father's dragon. Rhaenyra's grandfather. Okay, yeah. So it said Vermithor was gigantic. He was the second biggest dragon. So, yeah, it would be Vhagar and then Vermithrax. Why do I keep calling him Vermithrax? There's another dragon named Vermithrax, but it's from a completely different movie. Vermithor.
And there's an article here that says George Martin says that season 2 needs 4 seasons and 40 episodes.
Jesus Christ. George R. R. Martin said that season 2 needed 40 episodes. Oh, it says it needs 4 seasons, 40 episodes. Oh, so he wants 10 episodes per season.
Yeah, four seasons with 10 episodes. That makes 40 episodes totally.
Yeah. I can see it being told in 10 episodes. Like 10 episodes per season, 4 seasons, 10 episodes. I can see that happening. I wonder if they're actually going to like do the whole war in season 2, or if they're going to break the war up into season 2 and 3. And then have season 4 be the climax of what happened after the war.
Makes sense.
Because I just really don't see the point in it going past the war to King Aegon the Broken, because Aegon the Third or Aegon the Broken was not a very interesting guy. He was so scarred and so deeply like traumatized over what he witnessed in the war that he didn't talk. He was more like a mute. He barely spoke to anybody. He locked himself up in his room. He didn't do much of anything. I just don't see them really doing anything with Aegon the Broken. So it should just end with the aftermath of what happened with the war.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it seems very pointless to go any further with it, with King Aegon and then King Viserys. It doesn't make sense to continue on with them. Because after the war and everything, yeah, it was King Aegon, then it was King Viserys. But I don't see the purpose in telling their story, really. Other than maybe like a short, like saying like what happened to Aegon the Broken. I don't know. It's just I don't see them going into Aegon the Broken.
And you're right. Season 2 will probably not be until mid-2024.
Yeah.
It says that here in the article as well.
I actually found a couple of funny memes about this episode. I gotta send you. Yeah, a lot of people have been making memes about like what happened in this season. A lot of them involving Luke and Aemond. I think that's funny. But yeah, other than Rhaenyra getting a very big a big boost in her army to fight against the Greens, that incident with her and Daemon, about Daemon not knowing about the prophecy, them losing support of the Baratheons, Luke dying, and that starting the war is basically the biggest highlights of this episode. And yeah, I don't see much more to talk about. That's basically the big major points that have happened. And the biggest change from the book was Luke's death being an accident. Because in the book, it stated that Aemond purposefully killed Luke, which is not true, according to the show. Oh, and Rhaenyra being angry instead of being heartbroken and crushed and emotionally damaged by Luke's death. That was changed too, because she seems more pissed off and more motivated than ever now that Luke's dead. But yeah, those two things end up being like the biggest differences from the book that I can remember. Oh, and yeah, Daemon's recruiting dragons and dragon riders for the army.
And all the jealousy and anger and hatred with Damon.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Big. And Rhaenyra's miscarriage was great. A lot the dragon fight scene at the end of the episode was great. Like you said,
yeah, it was a great setup for the dance. So, like I said, this
really great setup.
This was a great
this is
season.
definitely one of the best episodes. I wish we could have. It made me want to see more every time it went off.
Yeah, it actually made me not want it to stop.
Yeah,
I wanted to keep going.
I didn't even think the episode was going to cut off at the end of Rhaenyra's reaction, because I did not even check anything, see how far we were in the episode, because I'm really am watching this. I don't want it to stop.
Yeah. Well, after a point where I kind of predicted that this would be where they would end the first season with Luke's death, that it would be a perfect thing to end it on. So I think it was a great cliffhanger. It'll get people excited for next season. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It was a great season, great build-up. Would I say it's better than the first season of Game of Thrones? No.
Yeah, don't have to that.
But you don't really have to compare it to that. It's a completely different show.
Those are two complete separate shows.
Yeah. See, a lot of people are trying to say, was it better than Game of Thrones? I don't think it was better than Game of Thrones first season, but, to compare it is not exactly fair. But on its own, yeah, it was a great season. It was very strong. So,
I mean, I heard somebody say House of Dragons is better than that Lord of the Rings television show. Like, you don't have to compare those two shows together in order to like them.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with that. I've heard so many disappointing reviews about that show, and me being like a big Lord of the Rings fan and seeing fans of
Ring of Powers.
Yeah, Ring of Power. It's supposed to be before the rings were made. It's like a prequel to Lord of the Rings. But yeah, I heard fans of Lord of the Rings just go, "This isn't it," and I was just like, "That's a shame." But yeah, I think House of the Dragon was like ranking one of the best, most popular shows of this year.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a reason for it. It's a really good show. And I mean, I do highly recommend for people to check it out. And no, you don't have to watch Game of Thrones before this. This is actually a prequel. If you wanted to watch it in chronological order, you'd actually want to watch House of the Dragon first and then Game of Thrones.
Right.
But yeah, you don't have to watch Game of Thrones to watch this show.
And I would say this, depending on your knowledge about Game of Thrones, I think this is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I mean, don't really need to know too much. Because, I mean, the prophecy about the Song of Ice and Fire, like, even the characters that are holding that secret don't even know what it means. They don't know about dead people living north of the wall. They don't know that. They don't figure out what that means until Game of Thrones. And they didn't figure out about the White Walkers until a few seasons in anyway. It was like season 3 or 4 when they saw the first zombie. I mean, we saw the zombies in season 1, but the characters themselves didn't actually know about the zombies until very late. And the characters of House of the Dragon don't know what the fuck it means. They just know the prophecy, and they know that the prophecy is important, so they're passing it down. That's all they know. But I guess the fun part about that prophecy is that it gets lost. Because they actually were not prepared for it. Yeah, because when the zombies showed up, they were like, "What's this shit?" They had no idea what it was. The prophecy got lost. The prophecy wasn't passed down. The Targaryens were not in power when the zombies showed up. So it was bad for them. But then season 8 made the zombies look like they were nothing. It totally destroyed the whole purpose of that. So, I don't know. Watch Game of Thrones at your own risk.
So, ready to wrap it up here?
Yep, I think I'm ready to wrap it up. Yeah, I've said my piece. Have you said yours?
Yes.
All right, so I guess we're going to end it here. We had a few viewers come in and out as we were watching, but nobody commented. But we do appreciate anybody who came in and watched as little as they did. So we'll wrap it up here. Everyone have a good night.
Peace out. Till next time.
Bye-bye.